Well, for me, it does not get much bigger than this. Derby are coming back to Pride Park again on Saturday after two defeats in a row to a 2-1 scoreline. Charlton and Barnsley have both beat them recently, and Paul Warren will be hoping for a reaction heading into the game this weekend against Port Vale. Obviously, Port Vale are another side low down in the table, just like Charlton were, but are Derby going to be able to come away with all 3 points? Shall we take a look into the game, take a look at both teams' recent form and the managers and the players we need to look out for? So keep your eyes on this video and we're going to go through it all right now. So the Port Vale game is upcoming. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for my match day vlog, and I'll catch you at the end of this video. So, as I just mentioned, Derby face Port Vale this weekend at Pride Park Stadium. And for me, this is an absolutely massive game. Derby have been on the back foot recently and have found themselves slumping but staying in the automatic promotion places. But that can only happen for so long. Bolton and Barnsley both have games in hand, and obviously that could prove costly towards the end of the season. It's now time for Derby to start picking up some vital points, and it starts this weekend against Port Vale. You look at the head-to-head just below, and you can see that Derby have often got the better of Port Vale. Now, obviously, that stretches all the way back to 2013, so we'll only take into account the previous 3 games, of which Port Vale have beat us once, but Derby have won twice. But going into this game, Derby have got to win. For me, this is a must-win. If we don't win, and we somehow get lucky with the teams around us losing, I'll be absolutely baffled, because that'll be 3 games in a row where we've not lost ground, and I just can't see that happening. For me, it just doesn't seem realistic. So that is the head-to-head. That is a little preview of the game. Let's now get into both teams' form and then have a look at the league table. So, as you can see here, Derby have been stumbling. Port Vale have been stumbling a little bit worse. Now, Derby have won 2 of their previous 5, but come into this game off the back of 2 2-1 losses after going ahead in both games. Now, Port Vale went 2-0 up against Fleetwood yesterday. Tuesday, a couple of days ago. And they ended up drawing 2-2, so that'll be disappointing for them. But they've also lost 3 of their previous 5 games. So Darren Moore, the Port Vale manager, who some Derby fans will know very well, will be hoping to turn the tide for them. Shall we now get a look at the league table and see how this game could affect both teams? Now, obviously, if you look at the sharp end of the table, you look at Derby County sitting on 66 points. And for me, this has become a vital game. With Bolton slipping up in the previous 2 and Barnsley hitting form, it's a situation where Derby could find themselves out of that automatic promotion race once both teams have played their games in hand. And that is not something which I want to look at. It's not something which I want to be dealing with towards the end of this season. Now, for me, the biggest problem is we've split up one of the best defences in the league. We've put Cash in to like a left back, or we've gone to a 3 at the back. It looks really odd, and the shape of the team just doesn't look right. And I think that is what's costing us in these games. We're going to take a look now further down the table at Port Vale and see what a win could do for their league standing. You can see it down here. Port Vale have played 33 and have 32 points. They are 4 points behind Reading, and they do have 2 games in hand. If they beat us at the weekend, they could quite easily see it as a possibility of them guiding themselves to safety. And with the way we have been playing recently, I think every team's got to come thinking that they have a chance to win, in my opinion. So Darren Moore will obviously be looking to rectify the poor form of Port Vale. Will he be able to do that this weekend? Let's take a look at himself and some of his danger men. Now, Darren Moore as a coach is most known for his time at West Brom and Sheffield Wednesday, where he got Sheffield Wednesday promoted and he was doing a really good job with West Brom before he got sacked. He struggled most recently at Huddersfield, but I think there's some more ongoing problems. I'm also certain that this graph which shows the wins, draws and losses is also wrong because they drew last night, and I'm sure Darren Moore was in charge for that one. But obviously he's lost 3 of his 4 games in charge, and that's not particularly great. But the draw last night is hopefully their turning point, but hopefully it's not enough for them to get a win against us this weekend. Shall we now take a look at some Port Vale faces and look at their danger men? There is another familiar face in the Port Vale ranks, with that being their striker, James Wilson. Now, he came to Derby on loan years and years back, and he only made, I believe it was like 4 or 5 appearances, but he previously played for Derby County, so I thought that is something which I'd mention heading into this game. Well, I think we can see what the problem is for Port Vale down at the bottom of the table. Only minimal goal scorers. They're not really getting much going on. Obviously, Ethan Chislett has had an absolutely phenomenal season with 14 goal contributions. I bet that is a really high percentage compared to their goals scored. I believe he's only scored around 40 goals this season. So he's going to be right up there, nearly at 50% of goals scored he's been involved in. James Wilson's obviously on there with 4 goals, and you've got Ben Garrity with 10 assists. So there is some danger men to look out for. There is a name on that list which we haven't got to worry about in Ollie Arblaster. He went back to Sheffield United. He was a player which Derby were interested in during the January window, but we ended up with Ibu Adams instead, and I'm sure no one thinks that was a bad decision. Shall we take a look at a team prediction for this game at the weekend, and let's make some changes. So I have made a few changes to the side heading into this game, and this is the team which I would pick. Don't get me wrong, I think Sonny Bradley has had some really good games recently, but we need to get that partnership back together at the back. Niambi came off injured against Charlton, so I'm not sure if he's going to be ready for the game. So I'd start Wilson at right back, Nelson and Cashin as the 2 centre-halves, get that partnership back together, and Sibley at left back. For me, we need to go as attacking as possible. In the midfield, I'd go with Adams, Corey Smith and Max Bird. Now, the midfield is one which sometimes it baffles me. Like, Corey Smith came in at a couple of games ago and really got the ball playing, and last night we just couldn't seem to get the ball going. But I also think that's down to the style of play that we're playing, and we play transition ball, and it's up, it's back, it's up, it's back, and we've got a lot of aging heads in our squad, and it's very difficult for them to be able to keep up their fitness and not suffer from fatigue throughout the game. And I don't think we make enough changes throughout the game to make up for the fact we play transition ball sort of thing. But I'd go with the front 3 of Mendes, Lang, Gale and Barkhuizen. Now, I would love to see Corey Blackett-Taylor, but I really don't know what he can do. We haven't seen much of him so far. Hopefully, in this next 11 games, he can get himself into the team and cause some real problems for the opposition, because that is what we're missing at the moment. We need some problems. Mendes Lang, despite getting an assist on Tuesday night against Charlton, he wasn't really in the game, I don't think. And I think it all comes down to, we've got this obsession with trying to play him through the middle, and I just don't think it works. Give him his freedom to roam, but keep him on a wing where he's actually effective, in my opinion. So hopefully that is what we'll do. Let me know your team predictions down in the comments. Let me know your score predictions too. So that rounds out this preview for the game this weekend against Port Vale. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Do you think Derby can keep this automatic promotion battle up, or do you think they're going to end up falling out of the running as the season comes to a close? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. While you're there, hit that subscribe button, like button, and share this video with all your friends, and I'll catch you in the next video. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.